there folks, I'm Dan Brown from a sort of interesting life.com. You're joining me on board good old Narrowboat Tilly for the Dan Brown monologues where I bore you about some random topic. And today I'd really like to just look forward and just generally talk about a few resolutions and a few things that I want to do over 2016 and really not go too wildly in-depth and detailed about the minutiae of what I've got planned, but just more generally talk about how I want sort of life and everything to unfold as the months pass by for the next 12 months or so. So I suppose that some of you may be out there going, Dan, you've said in the past that you're not one for resolutions. And, well, that's true, and I haven't really got many, really, so that's the end of this video, right? It's been fantastic speaking to you. No, of course not. Anyway, so, as I was saying, I'm not really one for making resolutions and tying them all to a particular date of the year or anything like that, but I also, well, basically, if I think of something that's a good idea to start doing or think, hang on, I need to stop doing this, then I try and do it as and when these ideas or things to stop present themselves, basically. So I suppose, really, this is more of a general, broader thing for what I want to happen over 2016, rather than going, right, it's January the 1st, so everything's got to change specifically right now. And there's nothing really set in stone of what I want in particular, apart from in 2016, I'd say probably sometime maybe March, April, May, depending on the sort of weather we're having, I want to finally get the top section of Tilly painted, and that's absolutely vital because she looks so tatty now, and given how bad this winter has been already over the last 2 months or so, it's just constant relentless rain, so hopefully we will have some nice dry, relatively sunny weather and I can get it all painted and looking ship-shape and spick and span and goodness knows what else. So we will see how that goes and what the overall painting is going to be like and how bad it looks after I do the first coat and then bitterly regret my decision. But again, all that will come as the year unfolds. So that's the only real thing that I really want to make sure gets done, and gets done very soon. As I say, once the good weather once the better weather starts coming in. I'm not going to go too wild and hope for good weather. But that's the only thing that's a definite, this has got to be done. I'd say in terms of other boating things, as there's no winter mooring this year for me and Tilly, unfortunately, and we'll be talking about that in a future video, don't worry. I'd say that I want to try and have a more general sort of overall plan of where I want to be at what time of year, and then base my holidays like I normally do from work around where I'm predicting that the boat's going to be at these times. But I want to try and stick to that more so than I've done in the past. And I thought, oh yeah, for the next few months, this is what I'm going to do and where I'm going to be. Because over 2015 and 14 even, there's been a couple of things that have made me turn around and come all the way back up towards Llangollen instead of carrying on in the direction I was going. And rather embarrassingly, in 2014, I had the moment where I came all the way up from somewhere like, don't know if it's Wixall, Bettisfield, somewhere way out down past Ellesmere, basically, all the way up in the summer months as well. So it's not the calmest and quietest time to be doing any travelling around these parts. But it's no big deal either. I quite like boating, some of you may have noticed. But basically, I went into Chirk Marina and said, oh, can I come in here for a couple of months? And then by the next day, because I didn't really want to be up here and didn't really want to be in the marina, I ended up being like, well, you know what? I'm going to have to go over there and say, I'm very sorry, but I'm not going to be coming in actually anymore. So within about probably 20 hours of me booking my place, I went and cancelled it and everybody was okay. So thank you, Chirk Marina, you're a good lot. And so really, it's that sort of thing that I want to avoid. And I'm not sure whether I want to go into a marina for the start of summer or the end of summer, just to have some nice, calm, quiet months. Because as the summer months and the good weather comes in, that's the time of year that I spend most of my time out playing and going about places and doing stuff away from Tilly and making the most of the weather, really. So rather than having the winter mooring over the worst months, where I'm always on Tilly, so I don't have to worry as much about security and leaving her on her own. I would rather, I think, have the months that I'm not on Tilly all of the time, and the months where I'm going away to the caravan, looking after me parents' houses and my nan and granddad's houses and the gardens and the pets and the cat and the dog and all that sort of stuff. As other people are going on holiday, I'd rather have that time when I need to be away from Tilly, or I'm going to the coast and doing other things, camping and that, where Tilly's in a marina so that I know that she's safe, rather than being, oh well, I'm moored up now in this particular place for 5 months, like the previous years of winter mooring have been, which I do thoroughly enjoy. Don't get me wrong with that. It's it was extremely handy for shorter commutes to work and stuff in the terrible weather. But in terms of actual practical security purposes, it's better obviously for me to spend time in a fixed place in a marina or somewhere where I know that there's friendly people who can keep watch and let me know if anything's going on, if I'm away from the boat a lot more, as I tend to be in the summer months. So that's something that I'm thinking about and gonna try and plan. And basically when it comes time to sort out my holidays from work, I will hopefully have that all sorted. I've said it before and I'll say it again. At the end of 2014, I was saying if I could have another year just like this, I would be more than happy. And now at the end of 2015, I can't believe how much it was very similar in many respects to 2014, but with so much more crammed into it. Loads more great weather boating, loads more going off places and exploring the surroundings with friends and family and other Dan and the Dan and Sarah adventures. All of these amazing things that have gone on. I basically, again, will say, if I could have another year just like this one, I would be more than happy. And especially as we're now leading up to, well, basically 2016 is going to lead us obviously into 2017, which is then going to lead us immediately into my 30th birthday, which is when I've always been saying for however long in these videos that when I get to my 30th birthday, that's when I'm making my proper decisions on the future of Dan and Tilly and narrowboat life and what I'm going to do. Am I on adventures? Am I doing Tilly up? Am I doing this, that? Who knows? Is it going to be a different boat? Is it going to be no boat? It's going to be a boat. Almost certainly. And basically, so 2016, I would love to just be one last nice calm year of just really enjoying the canal and this calm, beautiful environment and Shropshire and Wales and just everything that I love about the canals and have loved for the last 3 years or so. So that's hopefully the general plan for boating. Basically, get it painted and just enjoy life on the canal. On top of that, I would say in more broader life, there's only a few things that I really want to work on, and I suppose the usual thing, continue my healthy eating or healthier eating, which I've done extremely well on over the year. So please don't give me too much grief if you ever see me posting pictures of takeaway pizzas, as they're a rarity these days, which makes me very sad. Although I don't think that I ever ate as many takeaway pizzas and chips and stuff like that as some people thought that I did, as I let that sort of stereotypical Dan Brown character really run wild and take on a life of its own in the early years of these videos. So just carry on like that and not go too wild. I mean, as I say, I don't really eat chocolate bars very often, apart from when I'm at work these days, and things like cereal bars, which I know are still full of sugar in a lot of cases, but at least they're not just a slab of chocolate like it used to be a few years ago. And equally, well, I'm thinking maybe on the 1st of January I'll say, right, no more fizzy drinks whatsoever, and then try and make that go on for as long as I can possibly last, which will maybe be about 3 hours. But in all seriousness, it's just, again, carry on drinking loads of water, which I'm trying to do more and more as this year's passing by too, and not eating loads and loads of junk like I used to quite some time ago now. I was so young. So that's something that's obviously just a sensible thing. Equally, I suppose, really, the other thing, let's see, what have I got on my list? I'm still using me books here. let's see. I also want to try and really get back into history a lot more than I have been, as I've been doing a lot of writing recently and a lot of wandering around playing outside, and YouTube's really been crazy this year. I don't know how many hundreds of videos I've put out this year, but it's been awesome. I've really enjoyed it. But I'd quite like to be less sort of tense and less, I mean, because of the bad weather over the last 2 months, I'm so far behind with the recording and filming that I wanted to do, because it's just been impossible to get out there in either non-howling wind conditions and even rarer non-pouring down conditions. So really, that's been making me a little bit sort of tense, thinking, flipping heck, I've got so many videos stacking up that need doing, I've got this to do, I've got that to do, I need footage of this place, but it's going to take me forever to get there if it doesn't dry up, otherwise it's going to be a nightmare to trudge up through the mud and all that sort of general things that I'm thinking about. I've managed to luckily store up a load of videos, so there's at least now, I think at the moment through to March, 1 video a week already scheduled for next year, but ultimately, I just want to try and keep to my 3 videos a week schedule of the boat video on a Sunday, the chat video on a Thursday, and then Friday being the scenery video of some random type. I've got a few other video ideas that I want to try out this coming year as well. But really, I think one of the things I've got to do, and it's sort of tied into the general life thing, is not spend anywhere near the amount of money that I have spent on equipment to do these videos over the previous 2 years, as that literally runs into the thousands of pounds, which is just, it's outrageous. And that ties into my general theme of continue to save money and try not to spend much on anything at all if I can avoid it. And as that's going to be particularly important going forwards for whatever the plans for 2017 after my 30th birthday turn out to be, and basically just preparing for any eventualities then. As, like I say, I mean, earlier this year when I bought the MacBook to do these videos and do the audiobook and that sort of stuff, again, I just think that cost almost as much as the entirety of the entire running costs of Tilly for 2015, and that's just a little bit too much money to spend on something which, although I love doing, this is my great hobby, and I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed the fact that there's other people who seem to actually enjoy watching these videos, so thank you so much for that. I cannot spend just the amount of money that I've spent over the previous years doing these videos, and even on just other stuff throughout the rest of my life, really. Again, the main theme of that you can take away is really just being sensible. Continue eating sensibly, continue spending sensibly, saving sensibly, and what my original point before I got distracted into this random offshoot was that I wanted to try and do more proper in-depth history learning, like I really used to be into the nitty-gritty of Rome and Greece and that sort of thing. I want to maybe try and find something else that I can be as passionate about as I have been with Roman and ancient history, of a different area completely, and just really get stuck into that and read all sorts of very specific books like I used to on Rome and stuff, and really I just want to get super passionate about something really old once again, as it's been a long time, like I say, because I've been doing so much stuff for YouTube and writing and that sort of thing. It's distracted me away from history to a large extent, apart from obviously the endless hours of podcasts and audiobooks that I listen to, but that's not quite the same as it used to be in the old days. But still, I can't complain as if there's anything really wrong in my life. It's been a fantastic time ever since even before having Tilly, and really, if everything carried on as it was for the rest of my life, then I don't think I could have anything but positive things to say, really. Maybe though one day, if this did carry on, have a slightly bigger boat. Shh, don't say it too loud while we're on Tilly. But seriously though, I'd just like to take this as a moment as well to thank everybody who's tuning into these videos, everybody who's read the books, everybody who's joined me over on Facebook. I know I'm terrible, I don't respond to messages because I've got like 1,000+ unread messages over there, so please don't criticise me and give me too much earache for that. So really, I suppose I'll wrap things up here, otherwise this will turn into a long video of me rambling about nothing, and because there hasn't been anything super groundbreaking in this, I'm sure it's probably already been a bit of a boring video, so I can only apologise on that front. But I suppose it all does go back to that whole idea of being sensible and, oh no, being a grown-up. Oh! So after that was unexpected even by me, and I'm the one who did it. Anyway, getting back on track, I would say, like I say, just sense and not doing anything too stupid really. So, like I say, saving, spending, planning where I want the boat to be and when's the best time to actually go in a marina and it be useful, rather than maybe going in over the winter months or whatever happens over the next year of canal rules and things like that may or may not change. And ultimately, I suppose, just trying to continue what's been a fantastic series of years on board Tilly. So I hope that you will join me for 2016, as again there's so much planned and so many videos, new video series starting on the 1st of January, so please do tune in. I hope you'll enjoy what I've got lined up, and ultimately I'd just like to take this as a moment to say a big thank you to everything for everything. Say a thank you to everyone for everything. I mean, I'll do a little video I think on Christmas Day that it will post on Christmas Day, just saying a few words to you and a few general thoughts, so I won't go too much into it now. But again, I just want to say thank you, and there's so many people out there that I can't begin to try and list the names or go through all of the amazing things and experiences and what people have done for me, and it's just crazy, it's unbelievable, and thank you so much in every possible way and all of the things that you've done. I'm not going to get into specifics, because if I miss somebody out then I'll feel really guilty and I don't want anybody to be offended. But I really appreciate everything that anybody tuning in, and even just tuning into these videos for years on end. I mean, that's just a crazy thing to think, and I've had more of your time than I could have ever asked or deserved, so thank you so much. Until the next time though, please do consider checking out my boaty books. You'll find links to those on Amazon in the description below. Feel free, if you want to see a load of boaty pictures and stuff like that, to add me or follow me on Facebook. If you don't want to add me as a friend, that's all good. 400 followers on Facebook. I didn't realise that so many people had followed me there, so thank you so much, that's incredible. Feel free as usual to follow me on Twitter too, or like the Facebook page for even more boaty pictures and stuff. And until the next time, just have a fantastic day. Have a great Christmas, all December, whatever you're doing, wherever you are in the world. I hope that it's all brilliant. And until the next time, keep it boat worthy, keep it bobble worthy. Oh, that ruined the end of the video when I couldn't find the bobble on my hat then. Keep it boat worthy, keep it bobble worthy, and of course, farewell.